Hello, friends, and welcome back to Moral Story English. I'm so glad you could join me today. We have a truly heartwarming tale for you called The King's Secret Helper. It's a beautiful story that reminds us of the power of kindness and the virtue of humility. It's about how the simplest acts can hold the most profound lessons, even for a king. So, get comfortable, and let's dive into this wonderful story together. Once upon a time, in a grand and prosperous kingdom, there lived a king who was known far and wide for his wisdom. He was a good ruler, always seeking to improve the lives of his people. However, he often wondered if he truly understood their daily struggles and joys from within the high walls of his palace. He wanted to see his kingdom not as a ruler, but as one of his own subjects. So, one evening, as the sun began to set, he decided to do something extraordinary. He removed his royal robes, his crown, and his fine jewels, and dressed himself in the simple, worn clothes of a poor commoner. With his face partially hidden by a humble cloak, he slipped out of the palace gates and walked into the bustling streets of his own city, completely unrecognizable. As he wandered through the narrow, winding alleyways, he saw life in its rawest form. He saw merchants haggling, children playing, and families gathering for their evening meals. But one particular scene caught his eye and touched his heart. Under the dim light of a street lamp, he saw a very old man sitting on a wooden crate. The man's clothes were patched, and he held a small, coarse loaf of bread, likely his only meal for the day. Just then, a little child, thin and with eyes wide with hunger, approached the old man. Without a moment's hesitation, the old man broke his small loaf in two and offered the larger piece to the child. The child's face lit up with gratitude as they eagerly accepted the bread. The king, still in his disguise, was deeply moved by this selfless act. He approached the old man and asked, "Good sir, I couldn't help but notice what you did. You have so little for yourself, yet you shared your food with that child. Why would you do that?" The old man looked up, his face etched with wrinkles, but his eyes shining with a gentle light. He offered the king a warm, kind smile and replied, "Friend, what is kindness if not to be shared? When we give to others, especially those in need, we don't lose anything. Instead, we gain something far more valuable, a sense of peace in our hearts. True wealth isn't what we keep, but what we give away." The king was speechless. These simple words, spoken with such sincerity, struck him more profoundly than any lesson he had ever learned from his royal advisors. The king stood there for a moment, absorbing the old man's wisdom. He thanked the man for his words and continued his walk through the city, his mind filled with new thoughts. He realized that true leadership wasn't just about making grand decrees from a throne. It was about understanding and embodying the spirit of his people. That night, the king returned to the palace, a changed man. He didn't forget the old man or his lesson. From that day forward, he secretly arranged for a large basket of fresh bread, fruits, and cheese to be delivered to the old man's doorstep every single week. He made sure the deliveries were done discreetly, so no one, especially not the old man, would ever know that their benefactor was the king himself. The old man lived out the rest of his days with enough food, never knowing that his simple act of kindness had been witnessed by his ruler. Years passed, and eventually, the kind old man passed away peacefully. When the king heard the news, he felt a deep sense of loss. He gathered his court and shared the story of his encounter in the city streets. With a heavy heart but a clear voice, the king told them, "That humble old man was one of the greatest teachers I have ever known. He taught me the true meaning of kindness. It isn't loud or boastful. It is silent and sincere. It is given without any expectation of reward or recognition." And so, the moral of our story is this: the most genuine and beautiful acts of kindness are often the ones done quietly, from the heart, without any desire for praise or something in return. And that was the king's secret helper. What a powerful reminder that we can all be secret helpers in our own way. A small, quiet act of goodness can make a world of difference. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more short and inspiring moral stories, please make sure to subscribe to Moral Story English. We love having you as part of our community. Until next time, take care and be kind.